The first elections were relatively small scale, like 4 candidates, including myself. But the one that really stood out was the state elections. Like that's when you're up against the biggest political machines in the country. We had Clyde Palmer's United Party, One Nation. I think it was like a cannabis, hemp, or a weed party or something.
There's always got to be one.
I was a stoner back then. Like I had my fair share, many years of being a stoner rat, but I haven't smoked cannabis maybe 4 or 5 years now.
This is Inspired Founders, a podcast that helps you find your true north in business and beyond. I'm Priscilla Skippington, a soul-led entrepreneur passionate about sharing the wisdom of world-leading business minds who have walked the path before us. From their toughest challenges to their greatest triumphs, we explore the stories that have shaped their journey and defined their future. Together, we discover the resilience and redemption it truly takes to achieve success, make a lasting impact on the world, and live a life that is truly fulfilling.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inspired Founders with me, Priscilla Ann, and my incredible guest today, Scott Wallace. Welcome.
What's up? Thank you.
Now, this has been a while in the making, and I am so excited. I mean, perfectly timed, I'm sure. You came to an Inspired Founders event. You spoke at one. When did you say 2020?
I think it was October 2024.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long ago, but yeah,
Time
2024.
has flown. Talk to me. What's been going on in your life? How have things been?
Yeah, holy moly.
Since then.
Yeah, the initiations of business, of entrepreneurship, navigating, healing and repairing family relationships, lots of deep inner work for myself. I've been very focused on just solidifying the core offers and pathways for my business. So serving lots of humans with our mentoring and coaching, events and training. As you mentioned before, the podcast, you see me traveling a lot. So yeah, lots of travel as well.
Yeah.
And for me, across the year, the last sort of 3 years, I've averaged, in terms of my events, guest speaking, guest workshops, facilitation, all that, it's about 50 a year for me. Mostly across Australia, some international, a couple that I've teed up for second half of the year overseas. So yeah, lots of travel and just focused on mission and living the best life I can and looking after myself.
You are definitely doing that. I love watching you. Your energy is even just today, I'm like, yay, it is here.
We smell like
We smell beautiful.
helichrysum and frankincense, essential oils. We're ready to go.
Scotty gave me lots of oils to put on just before this, so we're feeling super chill and relaxed and present, which is lovely. So for those who didn't come to our event and for those who haven't heard of you before, share a little bit about your story, because I know you have quite a remarkable one. Where did this all start? How did this journey begin of now going into business and coaching and all of that? Because it's not where it started.
Great. No, I don't think for many people it starts the way we are. So the shorter version is I moved to the Gold Coast when I was about 15, 16, finished school here and took a year off, went traveling through Europe, went back to study, started uni, and I decided to study environmental science. So I have a big passion for the natural environment, and that 3-4 years of science was super inspiring. I spent so much time in nature, understanding how ecosystems work, connecting with different animals, and I very soon realized I became quite disenfranchised and frustrated and overwhelmed with the ecological health of the planet. I was like, shoot, man, things are fucked. There's some really bad things happening. And I sort of pivoted towards activism and advocacy. It's like when you find out something, when you have new information, or you do your first plant medicine ceremony, or you discover breath work, or you discover branding or marketing or whatever it is, we're like, oh my God, the whole world needs to know about this. This is the thing. And so I waited.
Company teacher.
Yeah, we're like, this has changed my life. Everyone should do this. If only everyone in the world sat with psilocybin mushrooms, we'd be all healed. It's like,
Yes, came up in our last interview too.
yes and no, So that's understanding brought me down the path of activism and advocacy, working for groups like Sea Shepherd, doing some campaigns with them. And then after that, I took a year off and came back and studied law. So I did a law degree after science because I wanted to work within the system, Priscilla. I wanted to understand how things operated. Instead of being frustrated and angry and negative, I was like, hold on, let me understand what's happening in this world and leverage it. Instead of being disempowered, I'd rather lean into it. So stepped into law. And as we got to about 2019, a political party that I'd done some guest speaking at, they were like, hey, Scott, so you know how you're a scientist, you've got lots of experience in activism, you've got a law degree, you're an incredible public speaker and like a, passionate vegan and animal rights activist. How do you feel about representing us in the next elections? As a political candidate, I was like, you what? I thought you want me to become a politician? So I was like, yes, I'll let it into this. So
Opportunity arose for a reason, right?
100%. And I can see the convergence of so many different fields of study and the evolution of my mission and my work that brought me to that convergence year, which was 2020. Da, da, da. Global collapse, coronavirus, everything was going down. It was big.
Yeah.
So in 2020, I ran in 2 elections.
Wow.
State government and a local government election, all seats right here where we are in Burleigh about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. And that's also the year that I discovered breathwork. It's the year I separated from my partner. We were together 6 years. So really 2020 was the big shift and just redirected my energy and focus. And since then have been focusing on building and growing my business, deepening my facilitation as a coach, as a breathwork facilitator, as a mentor, and just deep diving into that for the longest time. So that's the couple minutes on me.
I love it. I love it. And what an incredible journey. Talk a little bit about the political side and how did that journey go? Because I know it was an interesting one as well.
Yeah. So I see that for a lot of spiritual people and a lot of grounded, heart-centered humans, we can get quite frustrated or misanthropic, like anti-human, and why is all this happening with what's happening in the world? And especially when it comes to law, governance, politics, society, structure, and this very 3D realm that we play in,
Yeah.
it can create a lot of tension for people. And so I know that our ability to integrate the seen and the unseen, our ability to integrate intuition with intellect and soul with strategy, and all this is such an important way to be in the world. And so I stepped into the first elections in February or March after only being back from living in Africa at the time for like a year. So straight into elections. And the first elections were relatively small scale, like 4 candidates, including myself. But the one that really stood out was the state elections. Like that's when you're up against the biggest political machines in the country. We had Clyde Palmer's United Party, One Nation. I think it was like a cannabis, hemp, or a weed party or something.
There's always going to be one.
I was a stoner back then. Like I had my fair share, many years of being a stoner rat, but I haven't smoked cannabis maybe 4 or 5 years now. And there was Labor, LNP, like the main parties, and that's a whole new ball game. And I remember there was a big edge for me to speak my truth, to stand up for what I believe in and my values, not just online on social media, but in front of the world. It felt like in front of our entire nation, in front of our electorate. So a big initiation for me, Priscilla, was when it came to interviews, and you've got to be in alignment with the party policy and platform. You've got to understand what the party represents. And it was an animal justice party at the time. So when you're doing live interviews, especially I remember one with the Gold Coast Bulletin, and it was like, they don't give you questions. They're out to try to find any, they're trying to hang any dirt on you, catch you out and get inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And then you've got to answer quickly, succinctly, simple, in alignment with your heart, in alignment with the party policy and still land for people and help them understand why it's important, what we're representing. So things like that were a great edge, and ended up, can't remember, I think I landed on maybe 2 or 4% for the state elections. And the Animal Justice Party has got members all across different states already in government. I'm not a member anymore, but I fully support the vegan and animal rights and that whole movement.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question. Are you involved in anything like that anymore? You know, obviously you're still very passionate about your plants and your essential oils and your animals and all of that. But that was obviously your life for a while. Is there any part of you that's still involved?
Yeah, I've lived vegan for 10 years now, and soon it's going to be 11 years in March, right? And I'm
Do you ever crave anything?
well, if I want to eat a bit of chicken, I just go have some plant-based chicken. Like, if I want to eat,
chicken.
yeah, 100%.
Not chicken.
Oh, mate, the sous vide, you wouldn't tell the difference. There's so many substitutes out there, and yeah, it's like I've been really passionate about the lifestyle philosophy and ethics of veganism, and want to help people understand that it's not just a diet; it's an entire way of relating with ourselves, with other animals, other beings, and the whole Earth community. So I've recognized that I go through seasons.
Yes.
I can be like in a heavy business season. I had my heavy activism season, and then it was like a lot of breath work. Then it was like business coaching and transformation.
We do this.
I'm in crazy head spins right now. Wow. Oh, okay. The whole like, it is just come on
then.
Yeah.
Do you need some water?
I've got some water here. Give me a load it up before. The season for my activism is slowly re-emerging for me,
Yeah.
where I'm going to be more polarizing. I feel that call to step into more discussions and debates and sharing more of my opinions and beliefs. And yeah, part of me has held back. Part of me does continue to hold back from sharing fully my truth as often as possible.
Yeah.
But I think I feel I'm every day leaning into uncomfortability and tension.
I'd love to touch on that more as on your entrepreneurial journey. You know, there's a lot of edges that come up. You know, there's a lot of new zones that we have to tiptoe in way before we're ready usually. So what are some edges that are coming up for you in business? Obviously being seen in that more polarizing authoritarian space, because many of us love to people please as well.
Totally. It's a survival strategy. It's a protective mechanism. It's super disempowering for everyone involved. And
I love the honesty.
when we're not honoring ourselves, it feels like shit. But yeah, let's keep people pleasing and say we're being selfless.
But I mean, we're coming into a year now where people are really like the veil's getting thin. People are seeing through the bullshit now more than ever before in so many different ways. And I think it's more important now than ever to be authentic in who we are. People are asking for it. People are wanting it. Anyway, I took over that, but
No.
I'm still you.
So down for this, yeah. Like the theme of authenticity, the theme of embodied leadership, integrity, consistency, congruence, alignment. These are principles that dictate and influence and guide me with everything that I do. And for someone who came from a very grassroots, like marine biologist, tree hugging hippie, I'm here to save the world.
I remember we had a great chat about starfish one day.
Great. Starfish are awesome.
Yeah, starfish are awesome.
As someone who came from that background and upbringing, stepping into business and entrepreneurship was, and still is, like a big edge and very stretching at times. And for me, I fucking hated sales when I started business. I wanted money. You can't ask for it. I didn't want to stand in my worth and in my power and pitch myself and open myself up to rejection.
Surely if I just put something online, the money will just come here, right?
I just do a post and then people come into my event and then it's happy days. But the initiation of rejection and understanding our core wounds and how this plays up, it's I think that's the rawness that I've experienced through business and entrepreneurship. It's been the biggest spiritual initiation into meeting myself in a deeper way, refining like genuinely who I am. Yeah, hugely. And it's like I realize I don't have a sales problem. I've got a personal problem that gets in the way when I'm making sales. It's like it's our beliefs, it's our mindset, it's our things from our childhood that trickle over into everything that we do. So edges for me, I recognize that my profile was mainly environmentalism, nature photography, animal rights activism, educating and empowering people around behavior choices and just speaking up for the earth, speaking up for different social justice issues. That's the essence of the earth-centered platform, is to help transition and shift humanity away from a human-centered worldview and start to look at it through an eco-centric and earth-centered worldview, where we understand we're interconnected, we're interrelated. What we do every single day affects the entire earth community, our choices, our habits, our diets, the conversations we're having, how we show up for our family, our businesses, our relationships. It's all connected. So I've transitioned that platform away from that into more of my business, more coaching, the transformational space. So I have held back on bringing through more of my activism. I've held back from speaking more about veganism and animal rights and how crucial and fundamental I believe this is for raising the vibration of the planet, because we're not going to be slaughtering and killing as many animals. We're going to be eating fresh, delicious mangoes like we spoke about before.
Speaking about our favorite fruits.
Podcast, instead of like the flesh of beings that have suffered and struggled. Like it's intense. It's quite dense. So that's a couple things that I've held back on. And I've had a fear that the more I speak about these things, the more I'm going to lose clients, community, customers, connections. And naturally we do.
Yes.
There is, when we're in alignment, we will attract and repel certain people. So that's normal. I get that. It's still scary. There's a part of me that hasn't wanted to fully re-embrace that, but I'm starting to do that more so now.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proud of you. Happy for you. Because it is part of the journey. You know, I think I've owned more than 8 businesses now, different brands. And through that journey, and not all have been successful, you know, some have been big flops, but through that journey, I've had to reinvent myself and reinvent my message. And I'm sure you've done as well. I think we just naturally do it as business owners. If we want to stay in business, we have to pivot and we have to shift. And we do naturally because we go on this personal growth, spiritual journey. So we evolve over the time anyway. Yeah. So of course our businesses are going to. I want to ask, where, with this evolution that you're now going on and these fears are arising, I know you know that by stepping more into that, even though it's scary, you're going to attract the right people. You know that, right?
Part of me knows that. Other part of me still doubts that.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the part that doubts it then.
Yeah. So it's something you shared before, just activated in my solar plexus. We're speaking about something, I can't remember what it was, but
you felt it. That's
I felt that shit. Like that's real for me right now, fam. I gotta honor that. So I don't know what you mentioned, but the feeling and the thought that came up for me was, I have gone all in on this business, on my mission, on this work. I have invested lifetimes worth of time, money, energy, sweat, getting the right support, refinement, pivoting, persisting, building up my resilience, working on my capacity, trying new things, like all of it.
Yeah.
And
aren't we incredible beings? Just FYI.
We're great. And that lights me up. But I had this moment last year where I really had to start to process failure, and not from a mindset, oh, just reframe it into failure is learning. No. I get that. But actually go and process the energy and emotion of failure. And I had an immersion last year. We run this 3-day retreat style immersion across Gold Coast, Sydney and Melbourne. It's some of the deepest work that I facilitate. These portals are potent. breath work, it's all out shadow work, all the core wounds, masculine, feminine energy, all the nitty gritty things.
Yeah.
And I remember we had an event in Melbourne last year and I needed to make some fucking money. Lots of ATO debt, navigating, just getting solidifying new foundations at this level where I'm at, paying things back. And I was like, I've got to get this. Like,
Yeah.
you know, those states where I've got to make this happen, but to not let the lack and scarcity and fear dictate what you do, but to sort of stay in a vibrational state where we are in alignment, acknowledging reality, but not pushing it away because we unconsciously got that energy.
Correct.
And that is like the precision of like self-awareness and attunement. And that is really important. And I nailed it those 3 days. Like the breakthroughs were epic. I had clarity on the next steps for everyone. These were warm, hot leads. This is not people that it's their first rodeo. It's like some of my core clients. And the upsell and the continuation was our 12-month elevated leaders body leadership program, or a reset for the immersion. And have a guess how much sales I made in total from that. It's 16 people.
I don't know.
It's a random guess.
I'm so nervous to say the wrong thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how much they were priced.
Okay.
Can you give me some?
I'll just cut it down. I made $0.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh. So
Scotty.
yeah, that fucking hit me hard.
Yeah.
I have ran hundreds of workshops
Yeah.
and training and sessions. Like it's not my first rodeo.
No.
And for the first time in years, I was like, oh fuck, this hit me hard. All my shit around not being good enough really surfaced. Was it this? Was it that? Like, did I overgive? Was like, there was all these beliefs and things happening beneath the surface. And I was like, God damn. And I remember one night sitting down in my little unit that I'm renting in Palm Beach. And I'm like, sat down in my essential oils, Priscilla, got my journal out, lit my bowl of sage. And I was like, you got to fucking feel this shit, bro. You've got to go into this right now. And through that self-discovery and reflection, I realized I felt like a failure, a big old failure. And that what if, despite everything I've done and created so far, that this is the line that hit me. What if my dreams and goals and the vision I have that I'm working so hard towards is actually not in alignment for me? And that was the first time that I had to sit with that. Because when your soul and your heart and everything is investing in something, it's not just, oh, is the business going to work or not? No. I feel like it's a soul level investment in this. And sometimes I wish I just started a fucking plumbing business and not a spiritual coaching, mentoring, transformation business. So that was big for me last year. I really had to go into those layers and see what was there and feel and process and integrate that. Well,
That's a big one. I was doing an interview yesterday with someone else, and this came up as well. There's that fine line, that dance between trusting and knowing and the strategy and the sales and all of it. And for us spiritual beings, spiritual people, we can get in our head a lot about, well, this is how people do business. We have to sell. But if we are in alignment and we are living out our soul mission, which we've done multiple lifetimes to get here to this moment.
When I first rodeo here on planet Earth, yeah.
We are here to do it, and it doesn't work. Not that it doesn't work, but it doesn't sell out like your situation. You do question everything. What I've realized through coaching and mentoring as well, and also my own experience, is that it's the knowing and the trusting to a whole nother level. It's like, yes, you have the strategy, all the systems are there, you've done an incredible workshop, immersion. Of course people are going to buy. And then it's that knowing and being able to let go of all the restraints, all the mind things, all the logic, all of it, and just trust that if this is meant to be, it will be. And then for me, that knowing of like I went, trust, maybe it didn't work. Trust, maybe it didn't work. Trust. It worked. Fuck yeah. Trust. And then you get to a point of like unknowing, because it's happened that many times of just surrendering and allowing, that now I sit in I know this isn't a seller. I know this isn't a seller. So I know that that's coming for you. But it takes a few times of like that dance of like letting your mind go and surrendering and going, okay, I know I'm on mission here.
Yeah.
Help me out.
That's triggering the fuck out of me right now.
Okay.
What you're saying.
Great.
And the reason why.
This is good because this is progress.
Because there's a part of me that over the years has gone through seasons where it's like I feel it, I know it, and I'm trusting and I'm acting and I'm seeing results. And there's times where we don't see results, where we keep showing up.
Yeah.
That's cool. I get that. The last probably year, more than ever, Priscilla, I felt so much doubt and uncertainty more than I ever have about my direction, about what's priorities for me, and what is this next chapter asking of me. And that has been intense, where I feel something on every level, but there's still this part that's like, it's good. It doesn't work. What if it doesn't work? And I've part of me has really entertained that last year, and to open myself up to a pivot and a new direction. And I used to run a 1 and a 2 day training called Aligned Leaders, which is focused on helping leaders, business owners, creatives create more alignment in their life, feel more fulfilled, show the fuck up more confidently, shift their relationships, amplify the impact in their businesses. And before the end of last year, my intuition was like, that event that you love delivering, that you've done for like 2 years, that is an incredible lead-in for all of your other trainings that you love and that clients love, and it's like, great. That event? I'm like, yeah. It's like, and I'm like, what do you mean no more? I'm like, but I love this. So I had to go through that iteration and go, what's the next iteration look like? And so there's something in the pipeline that is going to be a half day or a 1 day transmission that we can deliver across Australia for people. Breathwork, nervous system, also like just authentic expression, and actually to plan it less than I ever have, to allow it once to come through. That is what I feel is going to be really important. So to tie this back in with your question around the next evolution, the next iteration, these are some of the things that have been coming through for me. And I, here at Dreamhouse Studio, there's an event on tonight called Mic Drop Experience. And one of my friends, Jojo, is hosting that.
I might just stay.
I think you should. It's great. And at the last, was it December last year, I was one of the speakers, and I shared 5 minutes of like just some of the nitty gritty, unfiltered, challenging things I'm navigating in my life. And I delivered a rap. I performed a rap that I wrote many years ago. Yeah. And that was, I had my first coach was there. I had friends, I had clients, and I got the biggest standing ovation I've ever received in my life. It was huge.
So that's the pivot. That's where we're
at. Something.
We're wrapping up.
Spiritual rap, baby. I was up to like midnight last night. I finished 1 track last night, actually. I've got 3 tracks to perform out of the gig next week. And so
this is cool.
Yeah. So that is a new space that's opening up for me, where I'm creating conscious high vibe spiritual rap. I haven't released anything, but I performed it a fair bit over the last year.
Yeah.
So that's a new calling for me, because it feels super edgy, but I love it.
That's amazing. Are you doing it tonight? No, not tonight. You're just attending tonight.
I'm attending tonight, but things change and evolve. Speakers pull out. So I'll be ready to go if Joe's like, hey, Scotty, you want to perform something? I'll be like, I'm ready.
I love
track. Yeah.
Let's talk about courage then, because I feel like there's a lot of courage. And yeah.
My body's like, oh.
I'm really triggering you today. I'm really sorry.
Oh, no, you don't need to apologize for triggering me. Our triggers are a gift.
Yeah,
I'm sure Lewis spoke about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure others have spoke about that. No, I'm all for it. Yeah.
Obviously, entrepreneurial journey, you need courage a lot of the time with all these pivots and moves and edges that we face. Talk about how do you work with courage? Because it is a gift too. It is a gift, but a lot of people shy away and hide because the courage and the fear that can come up with moving into something new can be too much for people. How do you work with people? How do you work with it yourself?
Yeah. I think for some people, them just showing up to their day requires a lot of courage. I remember times many years ago when I was in the peak of an abusive relationship. I was on Centrelink. I was questioning my entire reality, and for lack of a better word, shit was fucked. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't have the capacity to do the day.
Yeah.
And that required courage for me to wake up and confront what was happening and lean into life. And so I feel those courage codes for me have been there for a really long time, through politics, through activism, through law, through all of that. And I see it in a way where it's like new level, same devil,
Yeah.
where we come back around to another situation or context that we can lean into and to embrace. So for me, every day, Priscilla, I find edges and I lean into them. Like, this is part of my...
How will you do that? Because I feel like so many people don't understand how to lean in. It's easier to move away.
Yeah. So a great example today, like I've been working, did a workshop for a school a couple of weeks ago down in Victoria for all their staff, the principals, all their teachers, it's part of our RISE program. And it's a transformational wellbeing program that covers breath work, nervous system work, emotional regulation, authentic expression, and just helping teachers handle their things, give them the tools to better serve and support themselves. So that way they show up in classrooms and they can co-regulate and they can bring these tools into classrooms. So this is a new program that we've been delivering, and we're going through the proposal refinement stage at the moment. And, you know, it's putting together a new structure and packaging the elements and discussing and negotiating things on a whole new level that I've never done before. And so even today, just leaning into responding to the email that came through when I was initially like, oh, I just want to go scroll on Instagram right now when the email came through, because it requires me to do something. And so it's acknowledging how we feel, becoming the observer, the awareness, the consciousness of ourselves, and recognizing where we're coming from. What do we feel in the body? What's our mind telling us? How are our avoidance mechanisms and strategies getting in the way? And identifying it and still choosing to embrace it, to lean in, to explore that, whatever that is. If that's a phone call, if that's responding to an email, putting out some content. And so even before the podcast, I sat down, did some breath work and dropped in. I had about 10 showers today just so I could... It was just so hot today. Like, it was sweaty. I was like, I just want to be nice and fresh and vibed out when I come for the podcast.
But I certainly were.
Thank you. So I felt it. And it goes in the shower. And I sat down and I realized that there's a part of me that was sitting in that tension around this next step of the proposal.
Yeah.
And I could feel the contraction. And then I was like, in my breath work, it just came through. It's like, remember who the fuck you are, bro. What you're here to do, the importance of your mission. You're here to elevate humanity's consciousness. You're here to send ripples through our bloodlines, through future generations, to create a more coherent, loving, tapped in, abundant world for everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to embrace the edge and the challenge and the uncertainty that comes with this.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do that. So it's a daily way of being, Priscilla.
I just the 10 showers.
It was 2, but
we just
I went for a run, had an ice bath, did some work. I run a free weekly call called the Empower Hour every Thursday morning.
I love that.
Breath, business, and beyond. That's the main themes. And so we had that, and then just did some other work and made some lunch. So I had 2 showers. But it just felt like
I like the idea of 10. That was funny.
it's like when our partners or our friends go like, "Oh, you always this or you never that." I'm like, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Don't bring your always and never into my field. It's such an exaggeration.
So talk to me, what's one thing that you're seeing a lot of come up with clients at the moment that well, coming into the year of the fire horse, things are really changing and shifting. There's a lot of shedding in 2025, wasn't there?
Still going for me. Even at the least, we surprised.
Oh, yeah. Relationships, friendships, business things that you thought were happening, Priscilla, but are now not, and transformations.
Had a rough week.
Yeah, me too.
I've had a
Got a
really.
swollen eye today.
I've had an expansive, stretching, enjoyable, but an emotionally draining last week. It's been very testing in my nervous system. I've been dysregulated as fuck, and I've recognized that I've been in I've been in a state of the nervous system where I've been going from a fight and flight, so a sympathetic state, into an overwhelm,
Yeah.
which is a dorsal vagal response.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to a freeze and a fawn response. So I've been going from like get shit done to freeze, overwhelm, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Too.
And I spoke about this today on the Empower Hour, where I've had a big shift in support from my father with regards to my business. And that really hit me. Like it felt like a full rejection and a pulling away when there has been so much support. I've been able to work from his space. He's been supporting me like so much. Now he's like, look, I actually think I'm been compromising and this isn't in alignment. So I'm sorting myself out, which means there's going to be changes. So that brought up a lot for me this week, especially considering like I'd blocked out my father for 5 years of my life. And then my mum and my stepdad disconnected from me for about 7 years. So I've gone through big periods of abandonment, of ostracization, and really journeyed that deeply in my life. And all my shit came up about, am I going to lose connection with my dad as a result of this? And are we going to have that deep attunement and that deep sacred connection and bond that we've worked so hard on cultivating? Is this rupture going to threaten that? And that hit me hard. And so I didn't want to respond. I just felt overwhelmed. I had the afternoon earlier this week where I got home, just cried and just had that exhausted sleep for like half an hour, and you wake up, you're like, what year is it? And just recognizing where my nervous system's been in with that has been important to me to be aware of, but to work with that as well, because this is normal. And refund requests or a new working relationship with someone that I really wasn't expecting, and things not moving along, and relationships, like this has been, pretty wild week. And I went back to North Stradbroke Island this week, Ninjeri, which is the Indigenous name for the island, to do a couple of days working as a science camp tutor for the University of Queensland. So I just got back 2 days ago from essentially bush and science camp with these kids. And it was my first time going back in like 4 years. And I was going through this phase where I'm like, I've got debt that I need to handle. I've got to be responsible with my finances. And what can I do in addition to the business that's going to be aligned for me in integrity with my values? So I was like, got any camps? And like, come over. So that's also been a big week for me, like going back to the island and having a great time over there. And
You did have a great time though.
I did.
Yeah, great.
And guess what? I met an incredible teacher who's open to introducing some of the program work we do for their school as well. So it's like, it all just self-waters.
It all works out, doesn't it? Even though sometimes like you've gone, I need to do this financially,
Yep.
but what if it's actually just part of the path? You know, I love that It's, when we zoom out and go, actually, all these pieces have to happen so that we end up where we're meant to end up.
Yeah. I've had a lot of shame in that though, in coming back to employment for the first time in 4 or 5 years over this last like 3-4 months of time.
Yeah.
Like, and especially here on the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
I feel like there's this energy of no, you've got to be full time or that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been in business for 5 years. I've had the best time, and some things have felt really fucked, and I've been trying to work them out. And I'm just need to do what I need to do to be willing to reorder and reorganize.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's actually a great place to go, because I've worked for myself for going on 11 years.
good.
Yeah. Thank you. And God, it's been a wild journey. There's definitely been times where I was like, it'd be so much easier to just go and get a job, Priscilla. Why don't you just go and get a job? Like, why can't you just be what if everyone else and go and get a job? Never been able to do that.
You mean I've never been able to do that?
Well, no, I am able to. I've
Trying not to.
I've chosen not
Yeah.
to. Well, even when I had jobs like out of uni, I'd very quickly work my way up through the business, and then I'd be having chats with the CEO around, strategy. And so I wasn't a good employee.
I was a great leader.
But so I knew where my strength was. And I have always made it happen. So, it's been wonderful. Where
I'd quickly ask you before you bring that through, what did you study?
I studied, first of all, I studied business and marketing, and then I left that halfway through because it was boring, and so I didn't like business at uni. And then I went and became a graphic designer. So I went to a private college and became a graphic designer, and then I did 3D animation and code as well. So I was a bit of a nerd. I've always loved tech. I love coding. And but I ended up way more in the branding side of things and design, and then ended up in the fashion industry, and that was fun.
That's right.
It was fun. And obviously Lewis worded up, is like, I think aesthetics must be one of your highest values. I was like, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not.
No.
It sounds shallow, but I'm going to tell you.
It's beautiful, yeah.
So I ended up in that space, and then obviously branding agency, and it's evolved into other things over the years.
You're speaking about employment, jobs, working your way up.
Yes. Where were we going after that?
Something about employment.
No, we're going to talk about the shame around having a business and then going back to get a job. You said,
Even in the framing there, it's like that's how we see it. We see it as
going back. Exactly.
Like we're already telling ourselves that it's a step backwards.
Correct.
So I was like, oh.
Yeah, so I want to know, has anyone actually said anything to you, or is it just your perception of what you think people are going to say? And no, exactly. But it's our perception as business owners, once we have this title, that once we are a business owner and an entrepreneur, we can't.
And look, I've been promoting every day. Hey, I've got these jobs.
And I'm not saying you,
but it's like, I've shared it in certain spaces. My clients are aware, like my family is aware, and it's not saying that I'm holding back from anymore, but that it's an internal piece.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. It's like, it's not no one's saying it's a backward step. It's just our thought as a business owner. And once we get there, that employment is then not an option.
Yeah. And like, I've used that as fuel for a long time to get my ass into fucking gear and my idea was happy. It's like, no, I don't want to get back to $30 an hour, $40.
I can't answer to anyone.
Stay on, that could be $500 just for one session. It's like, just find that, bro. Just find that. So no one has said anything, and it's an internal piece for what we make it mean.
Yeah.
And I really felt into the piece around failure as well with this, because a part of me, I realized,
a lot, isn't it?
Made it mean that if I get a job, if I go to employment, or if I pivot or shift drastically what I'm doing, then I've failed.
Yeah.
And if I've failed, that's because I'm not good enough.
Oh, yes.
And if I'm not good enough, then I'm going to always be rejected and enter the cascade of core childhood wounds that continue to play their part. I see them, I understand them, do my best to not let them dictate what I do, but I know they come up, they're there to protect us, and they do get in the way. So that's a big piece of me to really land in that and just be humble and be willing to do what I need to do and keep moving forward. And it's a stepping stone. You know, it's lit me up spending some time working for the uni again and being out in nature, doing what I love, and just spending hours getting paid to look at trees. This is good.
That is great.
Great.
This is great.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supervising. Oh yeah. Do the thing. Collect your data.
Look at trees.
Plays with trees. Gets photos.
So this is such a random question, but it seems relevant. Off air, you asked me what my favorite fruits were.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fruits?
Mango.
Yep.
Love mango.
Yeah.
And banana.
Yep.
And watermelon.
Yeah. We like all of the same fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I love mango because it reminds me of eating pussy.
You just said that on the.
I just said that on podcast. 100%. Because I could have, I feel held back from being honest and open with you.
That's not why I eat it.
Yeah, or I could just like filter that down and not say what I actually wanted to say.
No,
So,
we're in the era of Scott being really authentic.
love it. No, especially in summer, it's like my favorite thing. So I love eating mangoes. And the
Now every time I think
that
of
I-
mango.
abundance here in Queensland is there's like 7 or 8 different varieties to choose
Yes.
from. Like I went to bloody Coles or Woolies the other day, and there's like 2 new species in, and they've got they've got
They had these massive ones the other day.
R2E2s.
Yeah, and then these long ones. Have you seen the long,
Yeah.
weird shaped ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
So many.
So I love mangoes
Yeah, great.
and papaya.
I don't like.
Really?
No.
Do you know papaya and pawpaw are different fruits?
Okay, no, because I was going to say I don't like 4-4.
Pawpaw tastes like vomit.
Okay, great.
It tastes so bad. Papaya's so sweet and delicious and like pinkier than pawpaw.
I
I
don't
might to give it a go. No. I don't like pawpaw. Papaya and pawpaw are like cousins. Papaya's great. Definitely try some papaya. A bit of coconut yogurt, bit of mango, banana.
Dragon
Got-
fruit, I love. Dragon fruit, I love dragons. I love dragons too. I love working with dragons.
Totally. I think we have so many different guides and beings and animal guides and different spirits that can support us, that we can work with, that we can co-create with. And for me, a lot of them over the years have been animals.
Have you met them through journeys or have you met them outside of journeys?
In breathwork journeys, in like day-to-day life, in visualizations, my spiritual ego hates this, but I actually think one of my spirit guides, animal guides, is a fucking cockroach.
Mars is spider.
Spiders are cool.
Yeah,
That's cooler than a cockroach.
it is. But I mean, when I found out it was a spider, I was like, oh, really? Like, I was surprised by it.
Cockroaches, yeah, or one life. Sharks,
Very resilient.
super resilient.
Just keeps going.
I just keep burying myself deeper and deeper and just self-sabotaging.
No, that one, you took the negative on the cockroach. there.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Look, they're cool. There's a couple that run around my unit,
Okay.
and being a good vegan, I try not to kill them. So I trap them in a takeaway container, put a little, bit of paper underneath, take them outside, and look after them that way. But yeah, they can bring all sorts of nasties into our home, but that's all right. I let them live outside.
So what makes you think a cockroach? Just because they're around? Or...
I see them a lot
Yeah.
when I'm out and about in different spaces.
Yeah.
And often when I'm getting into like my flow states,
Yeah.
one just fucking scurries along the floor. And I'm like, look,
They gather.
self-gathering. The Wallace is commencing his ceremony. We shall go greet him.
What is such a good episode?
Last year, 2 of my mentors and friends, Lucas Mack and Hella Weston, they're from Awaken Breathwork.
Okay.
They hosted a 6-month mystery school,
Oh, yeah.
which was each month we were working with different star races. Okay. So different beings. We went through the Andromedans, the Sirius B, the Lyrans, Pleiadians, Arcturians, and that was a very expansive journey of
Was that the first time you'd done that? Last year?
like in a structured way as part of a training.
Yeah.
Yes, but the many years since going down breath work, the path of breath work, since working with Lucas and Hella for maybe 5 years or so now. 2019, I started working with them.
Oh, yeah.
They were the O2 Awakening back then. But shout out to Lucas and Hella, incredible homies, epic global leaders in this breath work and energy space.
Yeah.
And they, since spending more time with them, I've learned more about how to tap into these states and be a bit more receptive and open to it and really refine and get a level of attunement with the work. And so I also realized that I've got origins throughout the universe that are from many different planets, different areas of the universe, some which I'll never fully understand, and I'm totally cool with that, but it's like a deep soul knowing and a recognition. So yeah, we've got I think many of us have a whole suite of different allies.
You definitely do.
That are here to work with us.
Yeah, definitely. You're speaking my language.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. We went from fruit to there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. And when
Favorite things, eating mangoes and aliens.
Me too, really. Not for the same reasons. Lastly, yesterday I was on an incredible podcast, which is going to come out as well, with someone who, again, is very much speaking the same language. We were talking about animals and spirit animals. Before we finish up, I would love to know, spirit animal. You spoke about cockroach, but what is your favorite animal? From either marine biology or not, or just in biology in general, what would be your favorite animal? Like if you were to embody an animal,
Well,
what would your animal be?
There are different answers for those different questions that you just had.
I merged two.
I usually know many questions, but I want to show you what my favorite animal is because I can almost guarantee it. You've never seen this animal. So firstly, I love birds.
Uh-huh.
There's just such a freedom with them. I'd love to be able to just fly around the world. I love sharks.
Yes.
As a marine biologist, I love sharks. Octopus are also really cool, creative, intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
But my favorite animal, if I was to pick one, is a type of sea slug called a nudibranch. Now,
this is your favorite animal.
Yeah. See, because
a sea slug.
Check this out. It's a sea slug, but it's probably the coolest sea slug you've ever seen. I hope the signal works in here because I have 0 bars. Anyway,
I'm going to get a photo of this and put it up in your show notes.
Glaucus atlanticus.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's a blue sea dragon. That's the common name. And it looks like a Pokemon. It looks fake.
My kids would love this.
It looks like it's some extraterrestrial species.
Probably
But
is.
you find them off the coast here on the Goldie when you get northerly winds because they eat blue bottles jellyfish and they eat these little things called blue or by the wind sailors and blue buttons. So they eat jellyfish.
They're like blue things.
And I really wish this would load right now.
You want my
I really want to show you because you're going to be like so astounded. I just know it. But they eat.
Show me once we get out of here.
Yeah, they eat the tentacles off jellyfish, right?
Oh.
And what they do is they then sequester the venom from the jellyfish into their own tissues. So imagine it's like us eating a handful of syringes and then turning into Wolverine.
Wow.
Well, we've got like defense mechanisms now and we can use that in our self-defense.
Hey, that's really cool.
And they've got the ability to eat the venomous tentacles and just extract the parts and then put it into their system and use that as their defense mechanism, and they're fine. I think that's some gangster adaptation.
That is incredible.
That's wounds to wisdom, man. That's turning like poison into absolute power, literally.
It is, literally.
What an alchemy.
That is amazing. Well, after this, we're going to find a photo and we're going to attach it to the show notes so everyone can see what Scott's favorite animal is because this is pretty incredible.
Like a little nerd marine biologist right now.
So good. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for joining me today. It's been wonderful, well overdue. I know we went all the places today and I could probably sit here and talk to you for hours, to be completely honest. But thank you so much for joining me and the Inspired Founders.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Priscilla. So glad we got to drop in. Appreciate the openness, the depth, the humor, the different areas that we explored today. And thanks for having me on. Hope that we've been able to create some impact, add some value, enjoy ourselves today, and keep sending these ripples into the world and creating change one day at a time, one breath at a time. Let's get it.
Always. Thank you. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you so much for tuning into this inspirational story. Lucky for you, the inspo doesn't stop here. We have an Inspired Founders Facebook community, a space created just for you to learn, listen, and ask questions from our inspired founders themselves. This unique community is designed to uplift and motivate you to take actions on your own stories and dreams. You'll find the link within our show notes. We can't wait to see you in there.